get started, let's go over the materials. For the yarn, I'm using a worsted weight cotton, and the colors you'll need are brown and yellow. Do you have your 4mm crochet hook, some stitch markers, and a yarn needle all ready to go? Great, if you're all set, let's get started. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at how this sunflower coaster is constructed. It's made in two main parts. First, the brown center of the sunflower, and second, the yellow petals. Alright, we're going to start with the brown center of the sunflower. It's really simple, so don't worry, just follow me step by step. First, we'll begin by making a magic ring. To start, hold the yarn tail with your right hand, leaving a long tail of about 20 centimeters. Now, with your left hand, wrap the yarn once around your pinky finger. Next, bring the yarn behind your index finger and wrap it around, and then bring it over and around your middle finger. You'll see that the yarn forms a cross on your middle finger. Use your left thumb to press down firmly where the yarn crosses and hold it securely. You'll want to keep holding it like this until we've finished making the magic ring. Now pick up your crochet hook with your right hand and insert it through the loop that's on your middle finger. Now yarn over by catching the working yarn with your hook and pull it through the large loop on your finger. You should now have one loop on your hook. We're going to yarn over again, so wrap the yarn over your hook from back to front. And pull that new loop through the one already on your hook. And there we go, you've made your magic ring. Now we can start on our first round. All of our stitches for this round will be worked directly into the center of this ring. For this round, we're going to make 8 single crochet stitches. Let's do the first one together. Start by inserting your hook into the center of the ring. Now yarn over and pull up a loop through the center of the ring. You'll now have 2 loops on your hook. Go ahead and yarn over one more time. Now pull the yarn through both loops on your hook. And just like that, we've completed our first single crochet. Go ahead and pull up on your hook to enlarge the loop, and then you can set your hook down for a moment. Alright, let's take a closer look at the stitch we just made. You can clearly see 2 strands of yarn right below the loop. They form a V shape. Take your stitch marker and insert it under both of those strands. Close the stitch marker, and now we've marked the first single crochet of our round. Later on, we can count how many of these V's we have to know how many single crochet stitches we've made. Let's continue with our second single crochet. Insert your hook into the brown ring, then yarn over by catching the yarn from back to front. Pull your hook back through the ring, bringing the yarn with it. At this point, you should have 2 loops on your hook. Make sure your hook is over the working yarn and then yarn over again from back to front. Pull the yarn through both loops on your hook at once, and there we go, that's our second single crochet finished. As you can see, another new V shape has formed right below the loop on your hook. You have 6 more stitches to go, so please continue and finish them on your own. Great job, we have now completed all 8 single crochet stitches. Once again, pull up on your hook to make the loop a bit bigger, and you can set your hook down. Below the loop, you can see the V shape of the 8th single crochet stitch. Take your stitch marker and place it under both strands of that stitch. Close the marker. Now we've marked the very last single crochet of our round. Next, let's count our total stitches together by counting all of the V's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. Those are the 8 single crochet stitches for our first round. Next, we're going to tighten the ring. Find your starting yarn tail. Give it a firm pull to cinch it tight. Finally, we just need to work one slip stitch to finish this round. Insert your hook into the stitch marked by the stitch marker. Yarn over from back to front, pull the yarn through the stitch, and then pull it through the loop on your hook. Now a new little V shape has formed right under the loop, and we need to pull it tight. Hold the yarn and your piece with your left hand, hold the hook with your right hand, and give it a firm pull up and to the right. You will see this V shape slowly get smaller, and just like that, the slip stitch is pulled tight. This tightened V shape does not count as a stitch. And this is what it looks like after completing round 1. Next, let's start crocheting round 2. Please note that for every round, we need to work one chain stitch first as a turning chain. The turning chain does not count as a stitch. The pattern for round 2 is to work 8 single crochet increases into the 8 stitches from the previous round. That means we will work 2 single crochets into the same stitch and repeat this for 8 sets. Let's complete our first single crochet increase together. The insertion point is exactly where the stitch marker is. Insert your hook into this stitch and work a single crochet. Great, that completes the first single crochet of our increase. Now continue to work a second single crochet into the exact same stitch. And we have finished our first single crochet increase. Pull the loop up a bit to make it larger and set your hook down for a moment. Let's take a look together at the stitches formed by this single crochet increase. The first V shape right under the loop is the stitch of the second single crochet, and the V shape right next to it below is the stitch of the first single crochet. Place a stitch marker in the first single crochet. You can now remove the stitch marker from the previous round. Before we make our second single crochet increase, let's find the stitch we need to work into. If you look at our first single crochet increase, you can see 2 vertical bars on the front, and they both lead back to the same stitch. That's the stitch where we made our first single crochet increase. The stitch right next to it on the left is where we'll be making our second increase. So let's go ahead and make our second single crochet increase in that very stitch. Insert your hook into that next stitch to the left and make a single crochet. That's the first single crochet of our increase. Now work a second single crochet into that very same stitch. And there you have it, our second single crochet increase is complete. You can see that our second single crochet increase also has 2 vertical bars on the front, and they both point to the same stitch. This is the stitch where we made our second increase. The stitch right next to it on the left is where we'll make our third increase. You have 6 more single crochet increases to make, so go ahead and complete those on your own. Alright, we've now completed all 8 single crochet increases. Let's look at the last single crochet stitch you made, which is the first V right below the loop on your hook. Place a stitch marker in this single crochet. You can now remove the stitch marker from the previous round. Next, let's count our total number of stitches together. Remember, each stitch looks like a V from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. These V's you see on top are our 16 single crochet stitches. For our third round, we'll be working into these 16 stitches, and then we'll make a slip stitch to complete the round. Go ahead and insert your hook into the stitch marked by your stitch marker. Yarn over, pull the yarn through the stitch, and then continue pulling that same loop through the loop already on your hook. You'll now see a new little V has formed below your loop, and we need to pull it tight. To do that, hold the yarn in your project with your left hand, and with your right hand, pull the hook firmly up into the right. You'll see this V get smaller. And just like that, your slip stitch is tightened. It's important to remember that this tightened V from the slip stitch does not count as a stitch. Here's what your work should look like now that round 2 is complete. Alright, let's begin round 3. Just like before, we'll start with 1 chain stitch as our turning chain, and this one won't count as a stitch. For round 3, our pattern will be 1 single crochet, then 1 single crochet increase. We'll repeat this set a total of 8 times around. We'll start in the first stitch from round 2, right where we placed our stitch marker. In that stitch, make 1 single crochet. Then in the very next stitch, you'll make a single crochet increase. That's our repeating pattern. We'll do this a total of 8 times, so let's start with this first set. One single crochet. Once that's done, place your stitch marker in that first single crochet you just made. You can go ahead and remove the stitch marker from the round below. And now a single crochet increase. And there you have it, the first set is done. Now you just need to repeat that 7 more times. Please continue with this pattern to complete the rest of the round on your own. That first V you see right below the loop on your hook is the last single crochet stitch of the round. Let's mark this stitch with a stitch marker. And you can take out the stitch marker from the previous round. You should now have a total of 24 stitches for round 3. To finish up, make a slip stitch into that first stitch we marked and pull it snug. And just like that, round 3 is complete. Leave a yarn tail about 5 centimeters long and then cut your yarn. Let me quickly show you how to count your rounds. The circle at the very center is round 1, then this is round 2, and this outer one is round 3. This is what it should look like after finishing round 3. Counting your rounds is a great way to make sure you've crocheted everything correctly. Alright, with round 3 finished, it's time to change to a new color. Let's grab our yellow yarn and hold it with our left hand ready to crochet. You're going to insert your hook right into the stitch where you made the slip stitch to join the previous round. Now yarn over with the new color and pull up a loop. For round 4, the pattern is as follows. Make 6 chain stitches, then 1 bobble stitch made from double treble crochets followed by another 6 chain stitches. We'll work a set of 2 slip stitches, repeating it for a total of 8 times. After that, go ahead and make 6 chain stitches on your own. This bobble stitch is made from 3 unfinished double treble crochet stitches. All 3 of these unfinished double treble crochet stitches are worked into the very same stitch to form one complete bobble stitch. Let's crochet our first bobble stitch together. Just remember, each bobble stitch is made from 3 unfinished double treble crochet stitches. Yarn over your hook 3 times. Use the middle finger of your right hand to hold these 3 loops steady. Insert your hook into the adjacent stitch on the left, yarn over from back to front, and pull the yarn through to bring up a loop. At this point, you should have 5 loops on your hook. Now yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops on the hook, and then yarn over again. Pull through the next 2 loops. Repeat that step 1 more time. Now you can see that this first stitch leaves a loop on the hook. And that's our first unfinished double treble crochet completed. Let's continue in that very same stitch to make the second unfinished double treble crochet. Go ahead and yarn over 3 times. Hold those 3 loops with your right middle finger, insert your hook into the same stitch, yarn over from back to front, and pull up a loop. Now you should have 6 loops on your hook. Yarn over. Pull through the first 2 loops on the hook, then yarn over and pull through the next 2 loops. Repeat that step 1 more time. And that's our second unfinished double treble crochet done. Let's continue in the same stitch to make our third and final unfinished double treble crochet. Yarn over your hook 3 times. Hold the loops with your middle finger, insert your hook into that same stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. You should now have 7 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops. Yarn over and pull through 2 loops and repeat that 2 more times. And that completes the third unfinished double treble crochet. Now if you take a closer look, you'll see that each unfinished stitch corresponds to a loop on your hook. Sew the 3 loops on your hook. 1, 2, 3 correspond to the 1, 2, 3 unfinished double treble crochet stitches. Yarn over again and pull through all 4 loops on your hook at once. And just like that, your double treble crochet bobble stitch is complete. Go ahead and make 6 chain stitches. Once your 6 chain stitches are done, we'll make a slip stitch in the next stitch. Insert your hook into that adjacent stitch to the left. Yarn over, pull the yarn through the stitch, and then pull it through the loop on your hook. Let's make another slip stitch in the next stitch. Insert your hook into the adjacent stitch to the left and yarn over. Pull the yarn through the stitch, and then through the loop on your hook, and that completes the first pattern repeat. Now let's start the second repeat with 6 chain stitches. You can go ahead and complete those. Alright, with your 6 chain stitches finished, we're going to make a double treble crochet bobble stitch. To begin, yarn over 3 times. Use your right middle finger to hold those 3 wraps steady. Insert your hook into the stitch. Bring on the second crochet stitch. Now third crochet stitch. So yarn over 3 times. Hold the top of your finger. Insert your chain stitch on your loop. So use these hook. Yarn over and hold the first loops. Don't forget to pull through the next 2 loops, and then do 1 at a time. And then please third, leave all today. And take those hook. Each loop stitch may correspond to 1 loop of hook. So you do hook. 1, 2, 3. These correspond to 1, 2, and 3. Unfinished double crochet stitches. Yarn over and pull through all 4 loops in the hook. And look at your crochet bobble stitch complete. Go ahead and make 6 chain stitches. On your 6 chain stitches, one will stitch in the next stitch. Insert your hook into the adjacent stitch to the left. Yarn over, pull the yarn stitch, and then pull the loop on your hook. Continue on the stitch next stitch. Insert your hook into the adjacent stitch to the left. Yarn over, pull the yarn stitch, and your loop in the hook. And with that, the second pattern repeat is complete. This is the most likely that repeat. There's 4 repeats left, so please continue pulling out 100 minutes from. Go ahead and weave more heels and seam it. Finish your own, and that your sunflower coaster is all done.